Often we find ourselves in a place where expectation and reality are not in the same universe. But today, we aim to bring these mighty forces together to decide how to improve one's game to create the ultimate disc golf player. But before we dive in, we have to ask the most important question of the day. Oh, Cody. Oh, Cody! How you doing today? You having a good one?
So catch me if I fall.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We are here at one of my favorite locations in all of Birmingham. This is my secret fieldwork location. Just got done doing a lesson with a new friend, Sean. What's up to all my Mississippi folks? And I am feeling fantastic. I love doing lessons, having the opportunity to work with people and sort of see some light bulbs turn on and things like that. But planning to do a little fieldwork session myself because, you know, we talked about net versus field, and I just want to have a couple where I'm not launching them into a net. I'm just getting the feeling myself of really sending some discs out there. So I've got a stack of putters. I'm going to be doing some fieldwork, and I just wanted to bring you guys along for sort of talking through an idea. I have to be honest, is largely for referencing, because I feel like there's some concepts that I end up referring to a lot that are scattered throughout a bunch of videos that I sort of want to bring it back to, so that when people ask about these questions, I can point them to this video right here as a like, oh, yeah, we kind of talk about all of it right here. So a video on my channel that I felt like was one of the more successful ones in terms of helping people realize a difference in their game or why they're struggling is this concept that's not new to me, very popular in golf, and that is feel versus real. Feel versus real is quite simply what I think I'm doing, what I feel like I'm doing, versus what's happening in reality are often quite different. If you've been watching the channel for any amount of time, especially over the last 6 months, you know that I've been trying to focus on getting this elbow up so that I can open up and let it fire into a proper standpoint. And when it's firing and hitting that spot, I know that I'm gonna get great distance, it's gonna be amazing. And I feel like there are some days where it's really doing its purpose and hitting the spot that I want it to hit. And reality, it's still dipping to a degree. That's something Clint and I talk about a lot when we're doing our catch-ups. That felt really good. Ooh, it was actually bad, things like that. One of the best ways that we can overcome feel versus real is to simply record ourselves. Lots of times when I'm throwing discs on video, it is to showcase something for y'all, but also I go back and watch some of the videos myself, and Clint, my coach, also watches. So, hi. Now, full transparency behind the camera, not often when I'm filming a video does it come out very soon after. I kind of readjust as things go out, such as the day that I'm filming this video is the day that my 5 reasons why you're bad at putting video came out. And in there, one of the reasons that we talked about why people struggle at putting is overconfidence. There is this belief or expectation of I have to be confident because I have to believe in myself. Negative thoughts are not helpful, but I also have to give myself grace and forgiveness because not often am I supposed to be performing at the level that overconfidence expects me to perform. Such as I'm very overconfident on the putting green, but when it comes to throwing on a tee box, I don't often find myself feeling that overconfidence. Feel versus real is a very important thing when it comes to changing your form and adjusting your form, because if we aren't talking about or seeing what we're actually doing, how are we supposed to make changes? But feel versus real is also very important to helping you score correctly and start maximizing your game when it comes to just how you plan to attack a course. For instance, there was a recent fan survey asking people how far they throw, and they determined that if you throw over 450 feet on flat surface, then you are in the top, I believe, 5% of people that play disc golf. I'm still not even actually convinced that that's correct. I think that number is significantly lower because the survey is pretty loose in determining what they mean by that. Like, if I were to step out into a flat field, calm wind every day, can I throw a disc 450? No. But perhaps for several people who are answering that survey, maybe it's the cynical thought, but also the reality thought, is that some people who had a tailwind one day and were throwing in a field, and we don't want to like decredit ourselves, did they throw 450 once, even in flat field calm conditions? Yes. Yes, they did. So by no means am I out here calling people like, do I think that they're lying intentionally, but I think that it's not necessarily an accurate read. And the reason that becomes an issue is because when we play the game of disc golf, we are constantly making decisions on what to throw. This happens a lot on an actual golf course because you'll be X amount of yards away from the pin and you'll be like, oh, I'm this far away, I need to use a 9-iron. The same thing happens in disc golf. If I'm trying to throw a fairway driver and I have it fixed in my mind that, oh, I throw fairway drivers 350 to 375, Let's see what happens when we throw this. But when I do that, it turns over like that. Oof. Well, that was a bit of a yankaroni. Try again. Yeah, that fence is about 350 feet away uphill. So do I throw 350 to 375 feet with my fairway drivers? Well, I'm not entirely confident. Where I see the shakeout most detrimentally is on holes that are around the 300 and in range. For instance, here in Birmingham, we have a course called George Ward, which is probably our most played course around town. Hole 2's traditional pin is about 283 feet away from the tee. It's slightly uphill off the tee, peaks to a certain point, and then actually starts declining a little bit. So probably plays closer to like 290. I have watched several people, myself included, who have this reality about how far they throw certain things. For instance, I know that I have said on the channel multiple times that I can throw a pig 280 feet, which means that if I step up to that hole and I try to throw a pig and I reach max power on that pig for what I expect to reach, I'm going to be at least about 13 feet short of the basket, because I think that it plays closer to 290, 293. Expectation, I can throw a pig 280 feet consistently. Reality, I can max push a pig 280 feet when it's a fresh, new, overstable pig. So what can happen is stepping up to that hole, I'm thinking to myself, 283, 280, I forget about the fact that it plays a little uphill, and therefore I grab the pig and throw it. And what am I left with? A long birdie putt. Now, how should I attack the hole properly? First is to throw a throwing putter that has a little more push than my pig does, like a Luna or an inner core. Option 2, I know that I can throw a mid-range 290 feet pretty comfortably. So why not just step up to the comfortable mid? Because I want to look so cool in front of my friends, because they all threw mid-ranges and fairway drivers at this hole, and big old Robbie, Mr. YouTube man, stepped up and threw a putter at it. What looks cooler? Throwing a shorter, slower disc than everyone else and taking the same score, or just throwing the disc that you're supposed to, not really caring what other people think, and picking up a stroke on them if you get the birdie and they don't. This expectation versus reality, or feel versus real, is that we feel that we can reach these distance numbers and these distance thresholds without actually testing them out and seeing what we're supposed to do. So, what's my solution? Go to a field and just throw your discs on a bunch of different lines and see what they do. What you're gonna get a taste of is what happens when I throw the disc great, what happens when I overgrip the disc, and what happens when I throw the disc just meh. Because expectation versus reality, expectation, I mean, basically sign me up for the Pro Tour. Reality, I mean, I could probably like keep stats on the Pro Tour. Now that guy's not super harsh, but that is absolutely a joke. Obviously, I think that the next future generation of Pro Tour players are the ones that we're raising up right now. But I do think that when it comes to watching people play on the Pro Tour, they consistently seem to throw the disc very well. And even when by their standards, they throw it poorly, it still looks really fantastic to us. Such as the fact that AB could throw a disc 6 degrees nose up, which is a problem for almost all of us mere mortals. And yet because he throws 75 to 80 miles an hour, it just doesn't matter. It's like the most beautiful nose up 500-foot shot you've ever seen. So because we have to live in the reality that we aren't gonna throw our disc well all the time, we have to make adjustments. Therefore, when you're choosing a shot selection, I can't look at it as, oh, I've thrown my turn 435 feet before. Therefore, when I'm stepping up to a 435-foot hole, I should be looking at this as a guaranteed birdie. No, I should be looking at this as I do not throw 435 feet. I once threw a disc 435 feet, but I do not throw 435 feet. Now I hear what you're saying, everybody. Mr. YouTube man, this is a pretty bummer video. Pretty negative, I might say. I don't mean for this to be something that like crushes dreams. I really want this to be something that we're looking at and sort of taking seriously, because I think that the disconnect from expectation and reality can frustrate so many people to why can I not do certain things? Why can I not score a certain way consistently, whatever it may be? I've had this discussion before, but we did a video and I'm gonna kind of reprise it because I think that it's really one of the best videos on my channel that didn't really get a lot of traction. And it was testing out what does it take to shoot 900 rated golf? Because I think that if you are rated 900 and above, then you are definitely in the top half of disc golf because so many people don't actually ever get a rating. So the like competitive side versus the super casual side. I think if you can play 900 rated golf consistently enough to get 900 rated, like I said, upper part of disc golf in general in terms of your performance. But we did a video talking about what does it take to shoot 900 rated golf. And what we found is you had to throw 250 feet with some accuracy and make all of your putts 20 feet and in. If you could do those two things, so that's it, 900 rated was on the table. And once again, those numbers are not an expectation. Not an expectation that if you could throw 250 and you can make all your 20 footers, you should be able to get 900 rated. No, that's like I said, we shot it. We proved it in the video. That is the reality that we live in. So people are watching this video who can very well throw 250 feet and make some 25 footers occasionally. And you're wondering, why am I not 900 rated? How often are you putting that to the test? This bag all the way out here, 250 feet. So we've got one outlier over there, the first Nova, but the rest of them, once again, 3 discs that are not in our bag, all within about 20 feet max of our target. I'll be the first to admit that for most people, making all of your putts 20 feet and in is the more difficult of the two. But expectation versus reality, truly, when's the last time that you tried to throw accurately outside of just a random hole that asked you to throw 250 feet? When's the last time you just saw how many discs can I put within a certain radius of a target at 250 feet? The more we are willing to run drills and test things, and once again, you don't even have to do this in a world of like, I'm coming to a field and testing this. While I think that helps, you could target it in a world of, I know that 250 foot hole exists. So I'm gonna unload basically my whole bag and see how many discs can I put within the bullseye on a certain radius. And let that be your gauge. How accurate are you at 250 feet? And when you find that you're able to do this, this is the reality that you live in, you can start to realize the expectations shift so dramatically that you can score properly because that's all that's required of you. So my expectation is that anyone can improve their game with just the right use and focus of knowledge. The reality is that information's right there for all of you. And I hope that this video is helpful, and I hope that it sort of can be maybe a motivator for you to get out there and see how much the scores and then goals that you want to set inside of disc golf are waiting for you. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Please make it fantastic for someone else too. But for now, we're going to leave you with the birdie.